Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Nittani Draws. I'm Nittani, and today I am doing a quick little video. Well, maybe quick. I don't know yet. I'm doing the voiceover while I'm recording today, so I'm not sure how long it will take for me to get through this entire thing. But today I want to talk about some of my biggest influences in art and my favorite art books that I keep on hand right next to my desk at all times, because I did get a couple of messages back on Instagram saying that you guys might be interested in seeing this, so I'm going to quickly show you which ones I have. So these are the ones that I keep on hand at all times. And I guess I'll go from smallest book to largest book. I think that will work the best. On the very top is Clamp Clover issue number 3, and this is the first American printing of this. And back in the good old days of manga, we had a much higher quality of printing, and so like this one, it has a parchment paper backing that goes over the top of it. So you can see the Japanese text, and then over the top of it is the English text. And I didn't take immaculate care of this. I got this a very, very long time ago. I would say probably 2002, maybe 2003. I can maybe look and see if there's a print date on this. I don't see one. Maybe I have to investigate further, but you can see why I love it so much. There are full color pages, and then the rest of it is not full color, but it's basically like having a poster inside of it. The binding is starting to fall apart because it's so old, and yeah, and well loved. I love this series. I love the Clover series. It's so good. And then on top of it, I just love Clamp and their art. So I use this for illustration prompts and ideas a lot of the time, actually. I will take some poses that I see inside of one of these comics, and I will redraw the pose in my style with a different character and that sort of thing, and that helps me to decide where I want to keep the bodies and things like that. So that's what I do with the Clover book. And then the next one, there's actually 2 books of it here, is Saga. I have volume 1 somewhere downstairs, but these 2 are my favorites because these are my 2 favorite colors, so I keep them right next to my desk as sort of inspiration, and just, it's such a beautiful story. It's so well made, and she's one of my favorite characters of all time. She's so cool. Check out how badass she looks. She can just destroy shit. So I love these, and the story is amazing, and so I love that. And then the Rat Queens I love. It kind of feels like a D&D story that has run amok, and I love that about it. My favorite characters, well, I really love them all, but Betty is really funny, and I feel like Dee is the most like me. Doesn't hurt that she's absolutely freaking gorgeous, so I want to be her. She's gorgeous too, but she doesn't have the same, she uses her sexuality to destroy things, and this one I just would rather just like destroy shit with death. So I dig her. So yeah, this is a really, really great story. It's really funny. It's lighthearted, but also it's got like a serious story that's kind of building up to it, and I really like that. So yes. And then this is another one of my oldie but goodies. This is the Clamp South Side Edition. I used to have both of them, but when I was really, really broke, I sold one of them on eBay for a good amount of money when I was in college. And I mean, I ate pretty good for a couple of days there, which was awesome. But yeah, I kept this one because this one has my favorite illustrations in it, and I'm very grateful that I never got so desperate that I had to sell both of them. That would have been very tragic. I did have to sell my other one from Clamp that I absolutely loved, and I'm still pretty brokenhearted about it. It was the Cardcaptor Sakura art book. I had the hardcover edition, and I sold it on eBay a long time ago because I was broke. So as I get my life together, I will probably save up to get a new one because I loved it so much. So this is Clamp Southside, and this is illustrations from 1989 to 2002. I was born in 1989, so I kept this one. And just a quick flip through shows you kind of what's in here. But what I love the most about it is at the very, very back, which is actually the front if you're an American, but it's the back if you read it the way it was intended, is a little write-up of like what they did with each one. And then right here, they have a how-to guide on how to use Copic markers from the Clamp crew. Isn't that amazing? Like, you can see the Copic markers in their hands. It's so cool. So, yeah, I don't know. I got a really big kick out of this because I didn't notice this until maybe a year ago or so. And like when I was a kid, I just kind of flipped past this because it's like words in an art book. But then now, because I spend all my time around Copic markers, I'm like, oh my god, that's so cool. I want all of this information. And so, yeah. That's what I love about this, is that I can look at this and I can learn more about what I want to do. So that's the Clamp art book that I love so much. It's so cute. Most of these illustrations are easily available online if you want to look at them as well. But yes. And then this one, let me get these out of the way. So this book came from my high school, and it came from the high school library, and they were getting rid of older books that weren't checked out very often. And this is one of my favorite books of all time. It's the Dean's Mother Goose Book of Rhymes. And the reason that I love this is because of the team that wrote this. They're a team of sisters. They're Janet and Anne Grahame-Johnstone. And when I was in high school, I was in independent study for art, and what I had to do was do an entire report about these two women, and I learned so much about them. And then I found this book in like the bargain bin at the high school library, and I just could not pass it up. And here is why. Look at how beautiful these illustrations are. This is one of my favorites. They're just so good. I'm assuming that what they used here is probably gouache, although I could be wrong. But yeah, I just love every single drawing in this entire thing. They're just so good. And their characters are so soft and squishy. All of them are light and squishy and soft. And look at this chicken. Tell me that chicken does not look freaking amazing. It's so freaking cool. This is another one of my favorites. So, yes, this is one of my favorite books of all time, and I go to this one a lot when I want to look up something, or if I want to think about something interesting that I want to draw. This is another one of my favorites. He's so pretty. Such a pretty child. So, yeah. That's one of... Oh, and also, look at the back. Is that not the most adorable baby mouse you've ever seen in your life? So freaking cute. But yeah, this book was made in the 70s, I believe. Yeah, 1977. So, it's a little bit older, but I love it anyway. And then this one is a book. It's Animalia. And my mom used to read this to me when I was a baby. And my mom is also an artist, and she does like nature illustrations and primarily like flowers. And so she loved this book because it gave you some ideas of different just things that started with A and B, etc., etc. And the illustrations are just so beautiful, so detailed, so gorgeous. And we would spend time like finding the different things that would start with each different letter. So like aqueduct and abacus, anchor, alien, Atom brand anchovies, an ambulance, an alarm clock, the alphabet, an alligator. So there's all sorts of really, really beautiful illustrations, and this is one of my favorite books of all time. It's very, very simple with the actual words, but the illustrations completely make up for that. So yes, this is one of my favorites of all time. And then this, I used to have a jacket that went over this, and it got destroyed in my move. But this was a birthday present from one of my best friends from high school. Her name was also Brittany. Shout out to Brittany. Hi. I don't know that she has ever watched a YouTube video ever because we've kind of drifted over the years, but hi anyway. And I was obsessed with Yoshitaka Amano when I was in high school. And Yoshitaka Amano is, for any of you who don't know, he was the illustrator who did the concept art for the Final Fantasy series. When, I don't know if he still does, but I know for sure he did at least up through Final Fantasy X. So when I was coming up, you know, Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9 were a big deal, and Final Fantasy 8 was my very favorite, and his concept art for that was incredible. If I ever get my hands on a concept art book from that, I will freaking flip out. It's my favorite video game of all time. And so this is the Fairies book from Yoshitaka Amano, and I love it. So it's so pretty and soft. This is another one of my hardcover ones, and it's got like a little write-up about the different types of fairies, and then his illustrations which go with it. And without me going in and like ruining the whole thing, I will show you some of them. But my friend Frances is also very heavily inspired by Yoshitaka Amano, and I think it's kind of visible in her art more so than mine. But yeah, I love him. One of my favorite facts about Yoshitaka Amano was that when he was very, very young, he was very poor, and he bought or I don't know if he bought it or if he received it as a gift or how that happened, but somehow he came into the possession of one of those reams of paper from the like old days where it was like the dot matrix paper where it was all connected and it would go through the printer and it was all just one big long sheet, and it was perforated so you could cut it up if you needed to, but you didn't have to. And he came upon an entire ream of dot matrix paper, and instead of cutting it up to make multiple small sheets, he just filled the entire thing with one illustration that just like continued on each sheet of paper, and he found a way to just continue that all the way across. That just sounds like such an interesting and extremely difficult challenge, and yeah, like that, no wonder he is so amazing, because he spent all of his life training for it. So he was another one of the people that I did what is it called? A report about when I was in high school, when I was in my art classes. So yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I am so glad you decided to stick around and check out my favorite art books and illustrators, etc., etc. There are so many more that I also love. I just don't have books of them yet. So as I expand my book collection, perhaps I will do an entry part 2. I'm hoping and praying for a Steven Universe concept book. I would like very much to get the Art of Loish. I want to get the Avatar art book. I'd like to get one of the Pokemon ones. I'm killing to get the old Sailor Moon books, but they are so expensive. And you know, oh my god, Sailor Moon is my favorite thing in the entire world. So if I'm ever able to afford one of the old, like really, really old school original Naoko Takeuchi art book things, it would be incredible. So those are on my list. I have so many, so I will do an update video if I purchase a bunch of them in some kind of like spur of the moment bad decision. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you'd like to see more like this, or if you'd like to see my own art. The kitten would like to say hello. I'm so excited for her. Come here, baby. Maybe she'll come up. Come here. Come here. Here she is. Hi, kitten. Say hello. Her name is Diana. She's so cute. Alright, I'm gonna go. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the very next video. Bye!